You're listening to Dude Podcast with JC and Will. Put some pep in that step. Enjoy the show.
Hi, I'm JC.
And I'm Will. And you're listening
to Dude. Yay! We did it. We transported him here magically to the Magic Garage.
I'm in the man cave.
The man cave. I was crying, laughing literally about 20 minutes ago as we were setting up because as you can tell, there's different things that are added around the garage, and sometimes people bring in things. I have a bunch of people's expired licenses over there. There's pictures from my father-in-law's bachelor party, which is kind of wild because pretty inappropriate. Actually, some of the things that are in the picture, and you're like, this is your wife's father. It's like there's really, really weird things.
It's pretty hilarious.
But yeah, people bring me stuff all the time. And so it's not surprising to find things that I didn't sign off on. Example of over here, there's a picture of somebody next to the metal. So I hang up. It's not like a braggy thing. I just don't have a spot for them because it's kind of stupid. If you run a half marathon or marathon, wherever, you get a medal, right? So I have a collection. Like, where else are you going to put them? Put them in the garage, I guess, right? I'm not doing it to be like, look at me. I'm just like, I don't know where else to put them. So I put them in the garage. Well, one of Carol Ann's coworkers printed out all his race times from years ago, and he just put them up there and then autographed it and didn't ask and just put it up there randomly. So I found it a long time later. So this morning we're coming in the garage and we're setting up to record, and I find a picture. You need to post the picture.
I'll post it. Yeah,
of Gordon Bombay, the coach of the Mighty Ducks,
infamous coach for
the infamous coach of the Mighty Ducks, on my wall.
It's like a motivational style
and poster. It's right by the trash can, and I'm like, who put this here? And it's a quote from Mighty Ducks about ducks flying together. And I'm like, that's interesting. And then I'm going into the closet. I try to get this thing set up, and I find a picture of, I don't even know who it looks like Jason Mraz. It's a big picture, a beautiful picture of what looks to be Jason Mraz ironing his pants with a picture of a cat and a dove on his shoulder, which kind of looks like it's AI potentially. I don't know. It's very strange. With a quote from Nick Cage about stealing the Declaration of Independence from National Treasure. And then I find one more looking at me. It's on my ladder, which I have a ladder, obviously. It's a garage, so there are things that I use functionally as a garage in here. It's a disheveled looking Jay Leno.
Yeah.
It's a very beaten looking Jay Leno.
Very big, yeah.
And there's a quote, a random a quote.
It says it's a motivational poster, so the word for it is confidence. And it said, confidence is knowing that you have a mammoth butt chin and deciding to shave every day.
Well, okay. So
I photoshopped a butt onto Jay Leno's chin.
But at first I didn't notice it because he has such a powerful chin already. But then I was like, what's wrong with his chin? I guess he has what actually appears to be a real human butt.
It is the real human butt.
Inserted onto his chin. But yeah, it's like the motivational posters you would see at the Scholastic Book Fair with the cat that says hang in there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and apparently there's I finally found that it was Will who has hidden them around my house, and I have 4 more to find.
No, friend. You have 7 more to find.
Oh, I think you meant there's 7 total.
There's no. You have 7. There were 10 total. You have 7 more to find. And some of them are well hidden, and so I feel like it's going to be years before you find a lot of these.
I hope there's one that's never found, and I in the process of moving out of the house, somebody moves in and they're like, what the heck? Why is there a quote from Jimmy Eat World at it's Barney the Purple Dinosaur?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's going to be years before you find a lot
Yeah.
of these, and I can't wait for those texts.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Well, we've had a pretty fun weekend. I guess let's talk about why you're up here. For a very important cause. Let's get the. It is for the Conshohocken Cornsuckers. This is the 15th anniversary of the Conshohocken Cornsuckers.
But explain to people what the Conshohocken Cornsuckers is.
Yes,
Because I loved it so much, I helped make some swag for it.
Yeah, for the 15th anniversary of the Conshohocken Cornsuckers, and he flew up and then participated in what is the day that is the Conshohocken Cornsuckers. So, Conshohocken Cornsuckers is a baseball team here in Conshohocken.
Mm-hmm.
There are tryouts for the team.
Yeah, every year.
Every year there are tryouts for the team.
But hey, JC, surely they play games, yes?
No.
So you're saying that you go to this tryouts to make a team,
Yes.
but you don't play, but you do get the bragging rights to be a cornsucker.
Yeah, you make the team that year, but really it's just, you're a member of the team that year. No games are played per se.
Yeah.
But just to know that you went out there, you gave it your all.
Yeah.
And you made the team is something unbelievable. So basically what you do is you go out and we go to a field at a elementary school that will not be disclosed, and do baseball drills for like 2 to 4 hours.
Yeah, we were out there for a good 3.5.
I mean, and as a ex college baseball guy, I mean, it's legit, right? They're legit baseball drills.
There are legit baseball drills, and there are some non-legit baseball drills.
This is true. Sort of everything is encapsulated in it, but they've been doing this for 15 years, and it's here's the other funny thing: it actually now has a legitimate philanthropic tie to it. It actually does help support. There's a local philanthropy called the Travis Manion Foundation about a gentleman who was from Montgomery County, this area of Philadelphia, that unfortunately died in combat. And so we raised money with the game, and we've probably raised actually close to $10,000 plus for the foundation, which helps for Veterans Affairs. So
it's wild that there are books out there for these veterans who are being supported, and these books say, "Oh, where did this beautiful donation come from?" The Cornsuckers,
the Conshohocken Cornsuckers. Yes, I mean, who knows?
It
could be books. It could be it could be
there are ledgers out there.
Food. It could be
that's what I
right.
mean. There are like ledgers out there that say like, okay, this $1,500 contribution.
Yeah,
what's that from? Oh, the Cornsuckers.
Yeah, absolutely right. Absolutely right.
I love that idea.
So anyway, so we made the team this year. Been going strong for 15 years. I think we're finally legitimate, and in the sense of we have Will, who is a graphic design artist, did a beautiful job creating not only the beautiful logo that you saw on the hat, Conshohocken Cornsucker hat, but Sucky, who is the official mascot of the Conshohocken Cornsuckers.
Corn that likes to suck corn.
He's a piece of corn who sucks corn, and
he's not a piece of corn. He's a corn cob.
He is a corn cob. You're right. He's a corn cob. He is an animated corn cob that has come to life, and being a corn cob, he wants to then suck a corn cob.
I mean, that's the only way that you can consume a corn.
Exactly.
Cob.
Exactly.
And how did they come up with the name Cornsuckers?
I think maybe it was some amalgamation of the Cornhuskers and Conshohocken already kind of sounds like corn.
It rolls off the tongue.
It does roll off the tongue. But yeah, so you came up here and we had a ringer because again, ex college baseball player, Mr. Skaggs. So I would say that you were far and away the MVP of the day.
I don't know. You know what? There were some pretty talented cornsuckers out there.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was impressed.
Yeah, pretty impressed for some old guys. There's some pretty good, and it's also tough because you're a second away from an injury. Everybody feels like they're like a second away from an injury at this point because we're diving for balls.
Yeah.
We're jumping all over the place.
Everyone there was pretty much the same age, like 37, 38.
Yeah, 37, 38, right under 40. And so, yeah, everyone's about to pop something. I definitely strained something yesterday.
Anytime I sprint at this age, I definitely feel it the next day.
Yeah, there was a lot of sprinting. There were also some strange sort of what would you say, like race sort of things?
So we did a relay.
There's a relay, yeah.
The shagged balls. So just, we took a position, shagged balls for a while. Then we played a simulated game.
Which was intense. I mean, that was a good game.
Yeah. And then so that was probably 5-6 innings. And then we did more drills, like baseball drills, like catching pop flies, like rapid fire pop flies, which is ill-advised, but that's just the cornsucker way.
It is dangerous. I'm not going to lie. There were literally 10 people in the outfield and 2 to 3 people hitting balls at you, coming at you at all angles. It does feel like it does in some way feel like warfare. I suppose.
Is, a little bit. It's just trying not to get hit. You catch one ball, you got to be ready for the next.
Oh, I will also say too, the field is in no way, shape, or form adequate for any game at all. There are potholes. There was goose poop.
I played third base and I had many balls like bounce up to my face.
It's bound to break someone's nose. Yeah. Just the way the bounce of the ball, because again, the literal elementary school outfield, or not outfield, really infield, the whole field is in such poor condition.
Yeah. But, the conditions of the field test who you are as a potential cornsucker.
It makes you a better cornsucker.
Mm-hmm.
The elements are what makes, much like the Travis Mania Foundation, right? These people who go in, these veterans who go in and our troops, they have to be tested. And that's very similar to the cornsuckers. It's not easy.
No, it's not.
But no one wanted it to, but if it was easy, then everybody would be a cornsucker.
That's true. And not everybody is a cornsucker. Now, ironically enough, everyone who went out there did make the team.
But it was close. I was told it was very close.
Yes, it was. And it was a nail biter. But there was just such great competition. I think we'll give Savannah Bananas a run for their money this year.
Oh, no doubt.
It was pretty. So, anyways, we ended the afternoon with smashing fruit and vegetables. That's kind of how you end the corn. I think you have a video. I can share it.
Yeah, of course.
Of me mashing a orange.
An orange. Yeah, there was a lot. Raining. I'll tell you what. I want to give props to. I think Anthony was the one who brought the fruit, and the fruit was delicious. The fruit and vegetables, they were very ripe.
They were ripe.
Because I did, after I found a piece of pear on the ground, I ate a little of that pear, and it was a delicious pear. The pineapple, very ripe. It's not always easy to find ripe pineapple. They smelled great. The bananas were outstanding. The orange, delicious.
Always.
It's very rare to find that much fruit. I mean, I just want to ask him, where did you get all this top high-end produce? Because it was delicious.
Yeah.
But, luckily we all made the team this year. We'll post multiple pictures. There was, you may see a gentleman won what we can only say is the hard-ass player, which is...
It's a beautiful, beautiful beaver statue.
It's a beautiful beaver statue. And he won it. And I mean, there's nothing that should be more sacred.
It's a very coveted award.
I mean, right next to, your family crest.
It's like next to like the Mark Twain Prize for Humor bust.
Academy Awards.
Mark Twain bust. It's almost like that. Except
Presidential Medal of Honor. Yeah, I would say that the hard-ass player goes up there, probably on that same tier. So
I wanted that beaver, but
I mean,
he played his heart out.
I will also say I do think that the beaver or the hard-ass player, HAP, let's just say that HAP for short.
Sure.
I think it's not only a what you did that day.
Mm-hmm.
You're bringing your resume. So I think part of it would be hard to be a rookie and come out there. I mean, and let me tell you, you had an unbelievable rookie performance, but I
respect the process. Yeah, I mean, you don't want to give a rookie, a $50 million contract when old Joe's been playing for 15 years.
What if Timothy Chalamet had won an Academy Award this year? It's like, Timmy, you have so much more work ahead of you. You got to keep chasing that dragon, baby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I respect it.
Yeah.
Hey, I was just proud to be a cornsucker.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it's outstanding. So, so we got you up here for Cornsuckers, and we didn't pull anything. And I will say, I actually made contact with the ball this year.
Yes, you did multiple times, but you did hit one right at the pitcher, a good line drive, and scored an RBI.
I did. I scored an RBI, and last year, I'll tell you, I was very defeated, not making contact with the ball once.
Part of the credo of Cornsuckers is be better than you were last year, and by God, you lived up to that cornsucker way.
I mean,
I'm proud of you.
Yeah, I think I really blew the door off the expectations that the Cornsuckers had. So anyway, we got you up here for it. Had a blast. Hopefully, we'll get you up here either the following year or the next, because I mean, once a cornsucker, always a cornsucker, and
it definitely won't be my last cornsucker experience.
Yeah.
I'll try to get myself to come up here sometime.
Truly magical. So if you're on the YouTube, look at the pictures. We've posted a lot of the pictures, links. It truly is amazing stuff. It is. I can barely walk though. I'm actually struggling. Also, yesterday evening, we went to dinner and I could not. I looked like I had a hitch or something, like a leg that was shorter than the other one or something like that. Just how I was walking. It's so hard.
My torso is really sore from swinging.
What age did that happen to you? Like, what is it like? Like, what age were you like, I can't? Was there like a certain age where you're like, I can't bounce back like I used to?
Yeah, well, I've told you before. I feel like I still have all my strength and my speed. It's just I can't. I compared it to a cheetah. You know how they say cheetahs can run really fast for a short amount of time and then they're beat? That's how I am. It's like I won't be hitting a baseball for another couple weeks. I mean,
cheetah's even a nice thing. I don't think I would consider myself a cheetah by any means. I don't know what I would.
It's just the metaphor here. I just think I still have strength and speed. Not the recovery, though, that I used to have.
Yeah, it's brutal. It's just absolutely a difficult thing. But yeah, no, it was awesome. Yeah, dude, what else is going on? I mean, we got you up here.
Yeah, we just kind of been just chilling, honestly.
I mean, you've gotten to see my life. You've gotten to see kind of the intimate look of not only the good things in my life, my wife, my son, who are amazing, but some of the bad, aka Charlie, my dog.
Charlie, your dog likes me. We're pals. Claude, on the other hand,
Claude hates Will.
He's not a fan. I don't understand why he did, but you know what? Charlie's my buddy. So
every time he walks downstairs, and this dog doesn't typically bark that much, nonstop.
He does, yeah. He's disturbed by my presence.
I think he might think you are like a dog, or there is some sort of a confusion of what you are. Maybe he thinks you're like robbing us. Maybe you are robbing us and you're doing some deceitful things, and so he sniffs it out.
Yeah.
And later on, I'm like, oh my God, like I look at my bank account, all my money's gone. I'm like, that SOB, and you're just sitting there.
Claude, is that what you were trying to tell me?
You put your sunglasses on, and you're like, and luckily Claude, like, I don't know, put an air tag on you or something like that. And by the way, has anyone realized? So we just realized this yesterday. We went to dinner with a friend of ours, or mine up here, Caroline's cousin, who he has an AirTag in his wallet, which is very smart. It's a smart thing, I think.
It is smart. I've never had this happen before though. The whole night as we were bouncing around from like the restaurant, we went to a little like kind of like a bar, sports bar, restaurant kind of thing. And each place we went to, I was getting notifications about this person who I just met. Like, hey, you were with this guy. Here's where he's been. I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah, so basically what happens is if you have an AirTag on you, I guess the new thing that Apple does is notifies other people on Apple technology that, hey, by the way, there's somebody who has an AirTag that is in or around your space. I get it. I think it's a great thing to warn you once. When it warns you every 5 minutes, at that point you're like, I have to do anything to like get rid of this. So you would do like, I feel like you would destroy your. I was to a point where I was like, I'm turning my phone off. You know, this is not helpful. That I realize he has an AirTag. I don't think he's trying to, attach me to a radiator later on tonight.
But it's funny. Like, well, it's not funny, but that he was mentioning like some creeps use it to like drop it in like a purse and then just fall. Like, it's crazy to me that you give anyone access to it.
Yeah.
And they can figure out where you are. Like, I've met him for the first time last night and I was getting notifications like, hey, this is where this guy is.
Yeah, no, it's, it was somebody is like hammering outside. Also, I think there might be a bird who's moving into the side of the garage.
Yeah. Did you hear this bird?
Well, I saw it just kept popping out, and it had like random things in its like at first it had like grass, which is normal.
Yeah.
And then it like had like some twine, and then I see it has like a drill. It has like a drill in its mouth. I'm like, what's that bird doing? Has an HDMI cable. It's like, oh, it's setting up the internet. Yeah. Whatever that bird's doing is fantastic. But yeah, there's also a bird, I think, moving into the side. So between whatever, projects going on and the bird that lives there, it's great. Hopefully it doesn't get picked up on the audio.
Having a bird in your house is it's a conundrum. Because what do you do?
Oh my God. Did I ever tell you the story?
I don't know.
Me and Carol Ann had an insane bird story.
Okay, tell me.
Okay, so we had this vent, right? So we had this. So we have a very old house.
A dryer vent?
No,
because that's happened to us.
Oh, that sounds horrifying.
Yeah.
I want to hear that here in a minute, but listen to this story. So our bathroom upstairs had a vent that, had a vent that I guess a bird had gotten into at some point, and I you put on you hit the switch, and all of a sudden it's moving air in and out.
Right.
So I guess what had happened is we had like this like cheap crappy plastic light that's up there that you could move off of it, and all of a sudden one time we hit the switch and we hear this. And I'm like, what is going on? Are we killing? Is something dying up there? Because I don't know how those vents work. I don't know if it's like a spinny fan, or I don't know if it's just it's pushing air. I don't know what the heck it is.
Did you kill it?
Oh, it gets weirder, sir. All of a sudden, I look up and I go, oh my God. And a leg is poking out and going around. The bird has come in it was multiple birds. It was like two. And they had gotten
stuck in the blade?
No. And they not the blade. It got sucked in to the point where like they were like between the light. There was the vent, and then it was the vent had like a light attached to it.
Yeah.
And somehow they got sucked down to like the lower area of it, whereby if I unscrewed a couple of things, it would be fully open, and we had to prep. And me and Carol Ann got a towel, and sure enough, we opened the window and we got one of the birds to come out. And we closed. Yeah, it was flying around, and it was gonna hit me in the head. We had two situations like that. We had one, and actually It took about 2 hours, but we got it out of the bathroom.
Oh my God, 2 hours?
2 hours because it's just you open the windows and you're like looking and the bird like comes at your head and you shut the door, right? Because like it had fallen through and then it was tough because like you have a bird like who like hits you in the head with its legs and wings and stuff. But then there was another one, so there was 2 birds, one of which we got out relatively quick. The other one lived in our house, I think, for like half a day. And that one somehow made it into the basement. And it went from the upstairs bathroom all the way into the house and down to the basement. We finally got it out the door. But it was awful.
Yeah, that's wild.
But you've had them come in.
So we have a pipe that goes from our washer dryer or in our garage. So the part that blows the lint out and like the hot air, you have to attach it to a pole that runs through our garage out to the side of our house. And we have an old vent on it, and somehow there was an opening and a bird got in there.
Well, yeah, and the bird's probably thinking, "Oh my God, this is great!
It's nice and warm.
It's warm. It smells kind of like it smells good. It's fresh. It also like is like kind of already semi hidden.
Yeah.
So it's like half my work's already been done, baby. I just got to come in here and make a nest. Lo and behold.
Well, Jordan went to look in it because she was hearing. Well, our clothes weren't drying because he was clogging up the pipe, right? And B, she could hear things in the pipe. She's like, "I'm gonna go check this out." So she opened.
That's the worst when you're hearing the like you know what I mean? That scratching.
And she heard like cheep, 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 like chirping.
Yeah.
She opened it up, and like you said, the bird flew right at her face, and she freaked out. She was
awful.
Like, "A bird hit me in the face!"
It is awful.
So we had to take a flashlight, make sure there were no birds in there.
Because it's not like this, like the other thing with the bird in your head is like, I actually think, give me like a rodent over a bird because bird is like a rodent. It's like, okay, it's on the ground, and you can deal with it's an easier thing to deal with,
right?
A flying animal, we are not equipped to handle that. And also, like, they're just chaos. Like, it's like, they're just like when they're flying, it's not this beautiful, like, you know, like,
no, they're
fly, and it looks like, it glided towards me, and its legs were back. It's just like a frenzy of it's like a Tasmanian devil coming at you.
It's funny you say that. I have an old boss who shall remain nameless here. But he was telling me that he loves animals, by the way. He's a pretty big animal guy. He loves animals. He loves dogs. But he was saying, he came to work and he was kind of frazzled and goes, I had a bat problem last night. And he goes, I freaking hate bats. He was just...
He just comes in and he's like... and you're like, what's going on? Were you bad traffic or tough night with the kids? And he's like, I got a bat problem.
He's in his 60s, and he was like, it flew at my wife. They're terrifying because they follow sound, and he was freaking out about it. He goes,
so he just rants about how he can't stand.
So
their sonar. I hate it.
He said he spent like an hour. He got a broom and he was hitting bats in the air. He's like, well, I won't kill any mice. I'll set up traps and like release them into our owl. But he's like, I hate bats. I want every bat to die. And he was running around the house hitting bats with the broom.
I mean, they're scary.
Terrifying.
They are terrifying. It's insane.
It is pretty wild.
It is crazy too that we're talking about Australia, and I have my picture of Shane holding a koala bear, which I got to hold a koala bear too.
That's a great shirt.
It's you have to do it. Like you're not above it. No one's above it.
No.
Like I don't care if you're, who would share. If you're Cher and you go to Australia and you're like, well, I gotta hold a koala bear too. Like you're not like Cher. You're holding a koala bear.
Everyone wants to hold one.
They're adorable.
Can't they rip your face off?
Yeah, apparently they're pretty temperamental.
That could be a reason to not hold one.
But I think what they do is I think as long as they're eating eucalyptus, they're fine.
So what you're saying is, don't walk around with any eucalyptus in your pocket, or
No, I think you'd be okay because then they would eat it would more be if you rip the eucalyptus away from them. That is when you would have an issue. Or if there was a koala that for some reason was, on bad behavior and they weren't feeding him, or he was on a, Ozempic or something like that, he would be a very frustrated, angry, and he could rip your face off.
Do you think a koala bear would like a eucalyptus bath, like Epsom salt bath?
Probably. Apparently they have it's either them. I think they have really tough butts. I've heard. Butts. Yeah. Because they have their backside is very, because, they're sitting on in the trees, and they have very
it's very
strong,
calloused.
Very calloused butts.
Ah.
Yeah.
That might be a nice little.
Would you want a calloused butt?
Sure. Why not?
Actually, it would become impressive. I mean, if you knew that you couldn't get, you could jump out of high buildings and just land on your butt and you'd be fine.
Calluses are character building. It means you've gone through some stuff.
How would you get your butt so tough? Sandpaper?
I mean, I was going to say, if I was looking to have a callous butt, maybe take, a cheese grater or something.
You have, there's two men with bats just
taking turns.
They're hitting you on the butt. Not on top of the butt, I'm just going to say, too. They're not, whatever else they can do with the bats, but they're hitting the buns to toughen them up.
What are you training for, sir? I need a callous butt.
I need a tougher butt. And you're like, another. So
hey, speaking of butts, okay, something happened to me 2 weeks ago that I want to talk about. I was at a coffee shop, right? And I had to go to the restroom, and so I opened the door to the restroom.
It was just a butt.
So at this coffee shop, there are those the knobs that tell you if it's vacant or occupied, right? So I see it says vacant. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to open it. Also in there is a latch. So there's two ways to lock this door. I open it up, and there's a lady on the toilet. Her dress is lifted up so she can sit on the toilet. And I just walk in, when you kind of look at each other. I'm like, oh, and I walk out. And I thought, how is the first thing that you do when you're about to sit on the toilet to not lock the door? There's two ways to lock it, and she didn't do any of these ways. And I walked right in.
What a bold move!
It's a super bold move. But here's the thing: I'm guessing she just forgot. But I'm like, isn't that the first thing you do when you go into a restroom?
I'll tell you what. I mean, I've been going to the public restrooms
maybe your whole life.
My whole life, and I have never once, because I'm instantly stressed instantly. It's the first the worst thing I imagine is someone,
walking in while you're on the toilet.
Do not want that.
There's no more vulnerable position than being on the toilet.
Yes.
And I walked in on this lady while her skirt was she was holding her skirt, so I just saw all her legs on the toilet. It's so awkward.
You immediately left, right?
Immediately left.
Yeah, you can't stay. That would be. I would be, if you were like, well, no, I stay. I'd be like, you're a psychopath. If somebody stayed after walking in and you were in an intimate coffee shop and you had to make eye contact with that woman again, I hope you never bump into that woman ever in the rest of your life.
But I have to think on her. I mean, maybe she was fine with it, but I got to imagine she.
No, she was not. She was not. I can tell you right now. No, she was not fine with it.
But here's the thing: the part of me wanted to apologize, and another part of me wanted to be like, "You brought this on yourself. I didn't want to see this. You did this to yourself."
But my favorite would be, how would you guys? I would love if somehow you guys did end up in a weird situation together, where then you come to realize that. Let's say weeks in advance, you're somehow in an elevator with this woman or something like that, and you come to the realization that, oh my God, this is her. But also, have you been to that coffee shop since?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so you conquered that fear.
I go to this coffee shop a lot.
Has it been in the back of your mind now every time you go?
I try not to think about it. What I think is, there's a part of me that feels like, thank God I'm the one who walked in there. But there's some people who might not immediately leave, or might actually say something, or spend a second longer and go, "Oh, okay, it's occupied." Like, some people don't have spatial awareness. Thank God I opened it.
Wait.
I'm the type of person that's like,
Wait, you're imagining a scenario where somebody sees somebody and goes, "Is this occupied?" And they ask them, like,
Dude, there's some
"Are they a
weird people
person?
out there."
Are they a human being?" No, in fact,
okay, but
I'm
the
all
reason why
around.
they say that is because you once had a guy open a stall door and stare at the toilet paper while you were on the toilet.
going.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I didn't linger. I immediately left. There are some people who just don't have that awareness.
I also think that person had a lot of
That's what I'm
a
saying.
lot of issues.
That's what I'm saying. Thank God it was me who doesn't have issues. I was like, I'm out of here. Instantly. Like,
Yeah.
talk about that real quick. You once had a guy, like, open a stall.
So yeah, we were at I probably have said this story before, so I'll try to have the abridged version. So basically, it was in high school. We were at a cross country meet. Our cross country coach was super OCD, so we would always show up like 3 or 4 hours in advance of the race. Like cross country, like there's very little prep. It's actually like the least amount of prep, in my opinion, that you need for any sport. You show up and you just freaking run.
Yeah.
Like, what else? You don't have to, like, it's
You
not
don't
like
stretch.
a ball. I mean, you might stretch, but like, again, all of that, like, what's it going to take? 15 minutes? 20 minutes?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, maybe you walk parts of the course. Like, you're just going to run. And if you got, like, that doesn't matter. Like,
Right.
people, think about it. The fastest people on these races, for the most part, like, they don't know what they're just
Right.
out there, and they're faster than everybody else. So
Right.
it doesn't matter. Like, there's very little prep you should have. But our coach was OCD. So, you know, the one thing I will say about prep too is you got to get your bowels clean, right? If you're going to do this race. So we were in the middle of nowhere, Oklahoma, at this race. There was this, bathroom that was like a, in like a park facility,
like a
one of
public,
those creepy park, which is all
There's never a good one.
I've never been in one where I'm like, oh, that one's in pretty good shape. It's all like, man, this is where
There's a part of you that just peeks in the stalls to make sure there's no murder in there.
It just screams murder every time. I'm like, and I think it every time. I'm like, this is where people get murdered.
Yeah.
This is where creepy people hang out. So I'm in the bathroom, and luckily, like, and it's also like, this is a stall that there isn't even a door. It's so old. It looks like it's the equivalent of like a prison style bathroom.
Yeah.
Where there isn't even a toilet seat.
It's like partitions.
Yeah, it's just a partition. So you just have a partition, and there is basically like a one-sided wall, and then there is the toilet. And again, imagine prison style toilet where there's no seat.
Cubicle.
Yeah, there's no seat that even goes up and down. It's like stainless steel, miserable. And so what we were doing is we had multiple guys like taking shit. Like they would we'd almost have like a bouncer, would sit on the outside while we were doing the thing. So like if somebody was coming and be like, hey, he's finishing up, right? So some guy comes in. Some guy just walks past Parker. It was Parker. And Parker was just so confused. He was like, what do you do? And he just, walked past, came over to the partition. So I'm sitting there going, he came and walked, and he was like within he was like standing from me to you, but he didn't even like acknowledge me. He just was staring at the toilet paper. Like and here's the other thing, to even make it like more prison style, because apparently in this part of Oklahoma, people were stealing the toilet paper. Evidently, how they set it up, if it was like a paper towel roll kind of style, but it had a lock on it. Like it had like a hard, like a bike lock kind of thing that was on top of it, so that you couldn't undo it on your own. So the toilet paper that was there was all you had access to, right? Unless you were the management facilities. So this band comes in and he's just studying it, and he goes, "Oh, S, we need more toilet paper." And then he just sprints out the other or the exit, and I'm like, what was that? Lo and behold, like,
And you're in high school at this point.
I'm in high school, and I'm trying to like get out of there.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, he comes back. Like, I'm like trying to finish up like immediately, and he's like comes back with like what is the equivalent of like 6 or 7 rolls in his hands.
So you think he worked there, and he just had no awareness of?
I think he was a special guy, and then he was he came back, and he had the toilet paper, and he was like looking, because then he was confused. Like, it was like almost like he didn't take into account that he couldn't unlock the thing, where the toilet paper was. So I'm literally like, getting out of there, cleaning myself up, and I go. And at this point, I'm like, this is so weird. I talk to him. I acknowledge him. So it's the first time he is aware of me.
By the way, Parker was not a very good bouncer.
He was just laughing, as you can imagine, like that. Which is kind of how you would imagine he would react.
Yeah,
like he's just laughing hysterically because he's like, I can't not let this happen because this is hilarious. So I'm standing there, and the man is like perplexed because he has all this toilet paper, and he's like, he doesn't know how to get it onto the roll because he clearly doesn't have the key to unlock the roll.
Right.
Yet he somehow got the toilet. And I'm like, hey man, just put it on top of there. That was my comment. I'm like, just put it on top. And he turns to me and goes, that is a good idea. And then he puts it on there, and then he just sprints out. And I was like, that was probably one of the weirdest interactions I've ever had.
More questions than answers, for sure.
Yeah, I was like completely exposed both times. And
again, you were in high school.
I'm in high school. Yeah.
There's so many things wrong.
And he was an adult. It was weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
It was very weird. But I also kind of like felt safe. I was like, I don't think this man's going to do anything to me. What's he going to do?
Safe little, yeah.
And I guess he could get him.
Came back with toilet paper.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, anyway, so yeah, that was my weird story.
Yeah, that's wild.
It was wild.
Well, walking in on someone being on the opposite side of that, it's weird. It's a weird.
Yeah, so I guess it's probably a really good thing that you didn't.
If it was a dude, it would have been a little funnier.
Probably good that you didn't go in there and go, do you need more toilet paper?
Right.
Okay.
Right. That's what I mean. Thank God it was me instead of some crazy person. I just saw her and I immediately bolted.
Man, that is crazy.
It was weird.
That is really weird. Well, Will, thank you again for coming up for Cornsuckers. I think, again, you were a ringer. You did an absolutely awesome job. You embodied everything that the character you created, Sucky. And that's kind of like, you're kind of going to probably be the Walt Disney. I mean, listen, my son loves Mickey Mouse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He doesn't know it, but he loves Walt Disney. I think you're going to have the same kind of impact on the Cornsuckers when people just are such fans of Sucky the Cornsucker, this beautiful logo, which you'll see if you can watch the YouTube page that Will has created, is going to live on for generations.
I'm just proud to be a part of the Cornsuckers. I'm proud to be a part of the team this year. It's a badge I wear honorably.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, again, we are so happy to have you. And yeah, it was an awesome time here in Philly hanging out with you, brother.
Yeah.
So
it's good to be in PA.
Yeah. And so, I'll be in Tulsa here later on this summer. We'll do this again live. And, anyway, Dudies, like, subscribe. I know we're not as consistent as we can be. We have lives.
It turns out we're busy papas,
busy dads.
Yeah.
But regardless, keep listening, keep subscribing. We'll keep pumping out content when we can. And have a great day, Dudies.
Bye,
great
Dudies.
week. We love you.
Love you.
Bye.